My name is La'Ron Hines, and I'm a singer, actor, and content creator.
Well, it's really nice to meet you, La'Ron. So you have gotten really big in the past couple of years. You have 9.5 million TikTok followers.
Yes. Yes.
And by Forbes' estimate, you're making $1.5 million a year. How do you feel about that?
Man, I mean, it is a drastic change in my life, to say the least. I mean, to go from a high school student who didn't know what he was going to do with his next move, getting out of high school, wondering what am I going to do next, because I didn't want to go to college. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and to have this just to fall in front of me and just to be blessed with these many opportunities, I'm just very, very grateful for them, for sure.
Fall in front of you. So was this fame intentional? Like, were you trying to be a content creator?
I mean, I've always said I wanted to be involved in entertainment because, I've always been doing acting and music. That's been a love of mine ever since I was a kid. Content creating was just kind of something that it was a new way of me to have, creative expression, and to just to put myself more out there in a different manner besides just music and acting. And it it has blown up in just magnificent ways, and I'm very grateful for it.
Mm-hmm. Your whole kind of shtick has been asking, "Are you smart?"
Yes. Yes.
Talk about that.
Man, okay, so really and truly the idea of that came from quarantine, honestly. We were in LA originally because I was out here doing music and acting, and then when the pandemic happened, we moved back to our hometown in Mississippi. And my parents, they have the daycare, they have a couple other businesses that they run out there. And I was just at home, there's nothing else to do. The world is locked up. So it's like, there's nothing to do. So then my mom's like, you can't sit in this house all day. You have to do something. Go to the daycare, go kick a ball with the kids. I don't care what you do, but you cannot sit in this house and do nothing. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I was doing content creating, like I was just getting more into it, and I had like a little bit over 1 million followers. So of course my fan base wasn't as big as it is now, but like I still had a pretty big fan base.
How did you get 1 million followers in the first place?
Okay, so I was doing videos with my parents, and different I would do like little prank videos, little skits with them. And I would also do like music as well too, like different musical covers and everything. So I had a very variety of different things at the time that kind of got me to that million. But when I started to do the Are You Smarter Than a Preschooler videos, that's kind of what just skyrocketed my social media. It was insane.
Yeah, well, your most viral video features your adorable younger sister, Jabria,
Yes.
and this has 65.1 million views.
Shakespeare.
Oh, that's my cousin.
Your cousin?
My cousin.
That ain't your cousin, that's my cousin.
That's both of us cousins.
That's both of our cousins. Okay, good job, Jabria. Lord, are you smart?
Yes. Okay. So, oh God, I missed Jabria. I haven't seen her in a while, but yeah. So that is okay. I don't even know how I feel about that. It's just kind of insane to see our growth from even then to just now, because that was just last year.
65.1 million views is a ton.
It's a ton. I mean, just to think about not just how many people, but who has seen it in that 65 million. I'm like, I'm a big, I'm a big Beyonce fan. I'm like, what if Beyonce is seeing? What if she's one of those 65 million? Like, I think about that daily. I don't know who's watching the videos, because that's the thing about social media. Is like, it tells you how many people are viewing you. It tells you how many people go to your page, but it doesn't tell you who. So it's like, it makes you think, like, who are you really reaching? Who are you really, coming in contact with that you're just very unaware of, you know? So I feel like that's the beauty of social media. It's a mystery.
65.1 million viewers is a ton.
Yes.
And it is impossible to know really who's watching it, especially at that level. Who do you make your content for?
Man, well, really and truly, the content started to be it was really for anybody. It kind of started as a way to make people happy or to make people smile, especially with what we were going through with the pandemic. There were so many things going on in the world during the time of 2020, like just so many tragedy after tragedy, that I wanted to be that little bit of light on social media in that darkness that was really all that was going on. So really my content was for anybody that just needed that light, that pick me up. Like to this day, people will tell me like, your videos got me through quarantine. Whenever I'm having a bad day, I'll just go to your page, and it makes me feel good to know that I'm bringing that kind of light and positivity to people in their lives.
Yeah, and you're also making really good money. I mean, $1.5 million a year for a 20-year-old is a lot.
It is a lot of money. Oh my gosh. It was like, I see myself when I was a lot younger, and I'm more willing to buy a lot of things now. It's not that I never like really had the money, because like I was just blessed with that my family was able to like, afford a lot of things, but it feels a lot easier to buy things now that I can do it myself,
Yeah, that's pretty sick. And you've worked with a lot of different companies.
Yes.
Your current partners include Extra, AT&T, Capital One.
Yes.
In the past, you've partnered with Fashion Nova, Starbucks, McDonald's, Puma, and a bunch of others. How do you pick your partners?
Man, that's a good question. I mean, really, one of the ways that I pick some of the brands that I work with is I try to look at companies that I would see myself, like, if I use the product already as it is, or if it's something that aligns with me, like, I'm not gonna promote like, a seafood brand and I'm allergic to seafood. Like, I'm gonna do something that is aligning with me and my morals and what I would normally do on a day-to-day basis. So like you said, Extra, I do like Extra gum, so that would be a great partnership for me. So it's just, I kind of just go off based off what I like.
Mm-hmm. And you've been doing that. You've been making money with these partners. And you also have this great background in singing, dancing, acting. One of the earliest clips we could find of you is this one of you singing that shows you really have serious talent.
Oh, wow. Where was your hair, boy? Oh my God. Gosh, that is another person. I don't even know who that is anymore.
Okay, but yeah, you do a lot of this. Are you smart? But you seriously have amazing singing chops.
Thank you.
Will we be seeing more like traditional Hollywood stuff from you, like the singing, the acting, the dancing?
Most definitely. That's coming up a lot for me, because right now I'm actually working on an album, so I'm very excited about that. Recording my first single very soon, and I'm going to release that before the year's over with. And then, I'm just trying to get more into that. I've been doing my vocal lessons. I'm back into gear with those. And then, of course, I'm trying to experiment more with posting more like covers or different types of videos on my social media as well, too, because I feel like that's what I really want to do, just to let people see it. Because, it's been more affirming for me, because when I go out, like I think the most recent time I went out, I met Keke Palmer. It was for the Lightyear premiere for the Buzz Lightyear movie that just came out. And she saw me, and we like knew who each other were already. So she knew me, I knew her. She came up to me, she's like, I love what you're doing on social media. And like, what she said to me at the end, she said, you have a great voice too. I'm like, oh my God, Keke Palmer just told me I had a great voice. It's time for me to start singing again. So that just kind of gave me the affirmation that I needed to really just to get back out there and to start putting myself more out there with my music.
Mm-hmm. Well, an endorsement from Keke Palmer is great.
Yes.
But what is it like to go from social media star making content with your family into these traditional Hollywood realms, dropping an album and doing more things like that?
Well, I mean, like really and truly, it's always been something that I wanted to do. So it's like a dream come true for me, because like, I love doing what I do with the social media, but this was always like my first love when it comes to music and acting. Like I can just think back to when I was like a kid. My grandma would tell me I'd go to the grocery store with her, and like, I'd sing to the cashiers and everything, because like, that's just what I love to do. Like, it's always been within me ever since I was a little kid. So just being able to do it and to release projects, that's just something that I'm very excited for, especially because I haven't released any music since COVID. So like my audience has grown tremendously. So I'm more excited to see what the feedback will be, because, I'd release little covers or I'd show little snippets of me singing on my social media. I've been doing that so far, and it's gotten great reviews. So whenever I release real music, I just hope that people enjoy it and people love it. I'm super excited for that.
And you have that instant feedback from your fan base. Talk about, like, do you make content for the fans, or do you make it for you or someone in between?
It's a little bit of both. Like, I really feel like if it doesn't make me happy, like, it's no point in me putting it out there, because I feel like when it comes to content or things that you put out, you have to really like it, because the minute you put it out there and you don't feel too confident in it, and then somebody else like tries to tear it down or talk bad about it, it'll like really, like it can really bring you down. So I feel like the best thing for you is to put things out there that you're very confident about or that you feel really good about. So that, because like, you know, when it comes to social media, everybody's going to have an opinion on things. People are going to like it. There's going to be people that don't like it. So you have to make sure that you like it and you have that confidence in it and you believe in it. So that way, when it's met with those controversies and different opinions, you're able to, you know, have that within yourself that you know that is good, that you know that what you put out there is what you want out there, and not just be concerned about what other people are worried about.
Well, with 9.5 million followers, I'm imagining you get a bit of criticism. How do you deal with that?
Man, I mean, if you asked me that a year ago, I would have said, like, you know, just like probably had like a spam account where I was replying to all the comments.
Oh, really?
Oh,
wow.
God, that was just like a little thing for me. Like, you know, I don't really do that. It was just like, you know, a one-time thing.
So you were reading everything from the haters?
Yes, like I went through a time where I was reading everything. Like, you know,
That must have been really toxic.
It was, and I had to get out of that mindset because it's like it really brought me to a point to where I didn't want to like produce other types of content or like do other different types of things, because anytime I would try to step outside of my realm, I felt like it was met with a lot of different criticisms. So it kind of really put me in this box and made me afraid to step out and try many different things. And like, I remember I would like go through times like, oh my God, I really don't like my voice. I don't know if I should keep singing. Like, you know, I would just have all these different types of things. Anytime I would get different opportunities that like, you know, that involved just me and not involving like, you know, me and my, like, you know, the kids I do the videos with, anytime I would get an opportunity that involved me, I would like, you know, I would get kind of worried about it because I'm like, oh God, people are going to say that I'm like, you know, doing this without the kids. They're going to be mad at me. Like I would just go through all these different things to where I would just like, you know, be very reluctant to step outside on my own. And just over the years, I kind of developed this way of, I wouldn't say not caring, but just like, you know, I try not to read into the negativity or feed into the negativity, because everyone's going to have an opinion on you. It should be about how you feel about yourself and just do what you want to do in life. That's all that really matters.
Yeah, I can't imagine internalizing that amount of criticism.
Yes, it was a lot for me at one point, because I remember I was doing covers at one point, and like, you know, they were getting like a lot of negative comments. Like, you know, I would just I'll use apps like Twitter to where you can search your name.
Oh God.
Oh God. And I would search my name on Twitter, and I was like, oh God, why did I do this? Why would I do this? And it's just like, it would like, you know, bring me to like a point where I would kind of just go through, I wouldn't necessarily call it, I would just get really upset. Like, you know, I would, and it would last for like a minute to where I just wouldn't like want to do anything. I wouldn't want to post anything. I wouldn't want to be seen on any social media. Like, you know, it would put me through a time where I wouldn't want to be out there, like, you know, by myself. Like I was fine with creating content to where like, you know, it would involve me and involve my little sister and involve all the other kids. But anything that involving just me, I did not want to put out. It was like, it took a minute for me to want to do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, well, now you're doing a lot of different things, and
Yes.
one of them is investing in real estate.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Okay, so me and my dad, actually, he's like kind of what got me into it. He was talking to me a little bit more about real estate, and we're actually starting out on our own apartments, and we're closing in on those right now. We're getting new tenants, and we're talking to those. I think he's actually outside handling a lot of that right now.
Wow.
Too. So we're just in the process of doing that right now. We started out with just buying the land, and then when we bought the land, we started to build the buildings and everything. And then he also is he just told me about this today, but he found another apartment that was already like, you know, established, that he just kind of wanted to take under. So I feel like we're going to talk more about that, and just to figure out how we should move on closing in on that.
So what's the vision? Is it like to be a landlord?
I feel like it's that's definitely one of the visions. That's what I see coming out of this, is just another another like, you know, stream of income.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And is that where you're investing most of your money? Talk a little bit more about what you're doing with the money you're making.
That's where I'm investing a lot. I am investing a lot of my money in right now at the moment. I'm still like, you know, learning a lot about different things, like with investments. I want to learn more about like, you know, different stocks and different types of companies to invest in. There's a lot of different social media apps that I'm like, you know, looking into investing right now. Like, you know, I want to see how I can get involved with those, especially since that's how I got my start. I feel like, you know, social media is like, you know, something that I'm very passionate about. And I remember I was reading somewhere, like I forgot who said it, but they were saying when it comes to stocks and investing in different things, like, you have to believe in that investment. It has to be something that you're passionate about. You can't just do it because it's like, it's a numbers game, but then again, you can't do it just because you see a bunch of people doing it. Like, you can't invest in Tesla just because you saw like 1,000 people invest in Tesla. You have to, like,
Well, I think that is why a lot of people do invest in Tesla, but yeah.
Yes, it is. But like, I feel like you need to have that connection to what you're investing in. Like, you have to have that passion behind it and that knowledge of it as well too.
That makes so much sense as to why you would want to invest in social media. I mean, especially as we think about TikTok, where you've made a name for yourself, the algorithm is ever changing and we're not sure about the motives of the founders. And, there's a lot of talk in government about potentially banning it, etc. Talk a little bit about how you deal with the changing tides of TikTok.
Man, well, really and truly, when it comes to the changing tides of TikTok, I kind of just take it like, one day at a time, really and truly. Like, it's like, it's sad to say you never really know what it's going to be like. I feel like when it comes to me, that's why I'm so big on, like, having backups, like, making sure they follow my other platforms as well too. So that way, like, if we ever do come to that day where the app shuts down, God forbid, you just can't, like, you want to make sure that you have your fans in other places or other like platforms to where they can, find you and still be able to get that daily dose of content when they need it,
Yeah, you make a lot of content with your family. Your mom is your manager.
Yes.
Your sister Jabria is so cute, and you do a lot of stuff with her. I'm gonna be honest with you. What happens when she grows up?
Oh God. Well, right now I'm trying to, like, get her more into acting. So that's really what I want for her. I want to see her doing a lot more acting, and she loves it already as it is. Like, we've done a couple like little auditions, and she has the time of her life doing auditions because she loves the camera already as it is. I don't know if you guys can probably tell through the videos, but she loves the camera. So being on camera, doing little auditions, she has like her little slate. She's like, "Hi, I'm Jabria. I'm 6 years old." She loves it, and she like animate. She's like a very animated kid too, so she loves it. So I really want her to get more involved into that because really and truly with the videos, it's been a blessing for all of the kids because they've kind of grown into their own little people, I guess you could say, because it's not like La'Ron and the kids. It's like La'Ron, and then it's like each kid individually, like they have their own different brand and their own different platform that they've developed, and they're getting their own deals and their own opportunities. And I'm very excited for all of them. So like whenever they do grow up, like, I'm just happy to see what they do next because I'm behind them 100%.
Speaking of kids, 86% of young people these days say they are open to being an influencer, according to a 2019 poll. What advice would you give to a young person who's looking to have a career like the one that you're having?
Man, well, really and truly, when it comes to being an influencer, my best advice I could give them is stay consistent and don't do it for the numbers. Like, I feel like that's a thing a lot of people get caught up in is like, you feel like if you don't see that immediate success, they're gonna like, just be over it. I feel like because it's something that takes over time. You have to genuinely do it because you love it and not just because you want to see like, numbers come out of it. Like really and truly for me, TikTok was one of those things that wasn't really a big like thing for me. Like I think I had the app for like half a year before I even got like 1,000 followers on it. And then just like, it just kind of, it was just like a snowball thing. Once it started to roll, like it just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's like, when it comes to those different apps, you can't do it for like the numbers wise, because I feel like that's the easiest way to get discouraged because it's not every day we can all just post one video and go viral. Like, it's very rare occasions where people do get those kinds of successes. But when it comes to like, content creating full time, it's very rare for that to happen. So you just have to make sure that you're very consistent in that and you're just having a good time and don't focus too much on the numbers.
Can you talk about your first viral moment where you were like, oh, wow, this is going to be a thing?
Wow. Okay. Well, my first viral moment, like, period, was definitely a video that I did with my parents. It was like a little prank video that we did. I think it got like over 5 million views or something like that. I can't remember the exact number, but it was just like the first video that I saw get success on TikTok that just kind of made me realize like, wow, like, there's a lot of people watching this video. Like, at first it was just something I was doing for fun. I was like, maybe we should like, maybe I should look into like, doing these videos more seriously. So like I kind of started to do more videos and post more stuff. And it was all in fun, but like, of course I was keeping in mind that I did have like, something growing at the time. So it was just, it was definitely life changing for me. Just like it was an eye-opening experience, and it made me look more into the idea of creating content, because really and truly for me it was just acting and music full time. But when I started to receive those viral moments, it made me open up more to it, because I always just saw social media, TikTok, different apps like that was like, social media wise, I always thought those as just like, self-expression, like a way for me to show another side of me. Because when it comes to acting and music, you kind of have like, you kind of have to play a character in those, and I feel like it gives me a way to show another side of me that I don't get to show like in my music or in my acting.
Right. So as a creator, you do get to be yourself, and you see behind the scenes. And you've been doing this professionally since 2020, and look at the success you've had. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I'm definitely hoping to have taken my success to the next level. Like, I'm really big on, like I said, I'm really big on creating, which is why I started to get more involved in social media, because it gives me more creative freedom and like, there's an outlet to create. So I really want to get more involved in TV and film. Like I want to start writing shows, like, I want to produce and write my own show, possibly get more involved in my acting and my music as well too. Hopefully we have some #1 hits on the Billboard charts by then. A couple Emmys, couple Grammys. Like, I see myself like, just staying in my creative realm, because that's just what has always been a love for me.
And public taste is changing, and you really haven't been a very controversial person, relatively speaking. Do you plan on broadcasting more opinions on social media, or do you want to stay more neutral?
Really and truly, in that case, I feel like if it's situations to where I feel like it, if it's a situation where I'm very passionate, I'm going to like, give my opinion on it, but I'm not going to like, shame anybody else for their opinion, because at the like, at the same time, we're all like, human. So I don't want to like, make anybody feel bad for how they feel on a certain situation. But if I do voice my opinion on something, it's not like going to be from a malicious place. It's going to be from a place of genuine love or genuine like concern.
Well, that is very nice, La'Ron. I also want to ask you about TikTok's algorithm. People say it tends to favor white creators, and that TikTok users have an inherent bias towards white creators. You're not that. How has that affected your career? Can you talk about it a little bit?
Well, me personally, I can't say that it has affected me, at least not to my knowledge. I mean, it hasn't really affected me to my knowledge, but I've heard stories of how it has affected creators, and really and truly, I feel like we're at a place to where I feel like TikTok is trying to combat that a lot more, which I'm very glad that they're doing, because they've opened up more like creator programs like for the for Black creators or for POC creators, to where they're able to like reach out for more help or reach out for different things, like in terms of an algorithm. Like I was assigned a growth strategist on TikTok, like when I joined the creator program, like and she would set up different meetings with me just to show me like okay, so your content is doing good, like this is what your numbers are looking like, this is where your videos are doing good here, if you post it this time at this, like they're very helpful, they're very hands-on, at least for me. And I know a couple other creators that they've been like helping a lot as well too. So I feel like they're in terms of that, where it says it's more favoring towards the white creators, I feel like that TikTok is trying to combat that. So I'm very grateful for that.
That's super interesting. Tell us more about your relationship with TikTok as a platform.
Okay, so TikTok as a platform, I want to say I joined the creator program actually before like
and what is the creator program?
So really and truly, the creator program is just like this thing that TikTok has where they invite like a couple Black creators. They invite many creators to join, and it's like they send you like little things during the holiday seasons, like they give you like different opportunities that come up.
Little
like,
things, you mean like
for like let's say it's Valentine's Day, they'll send like Valentine's Day gifts. Like it's kind of like a little subscription program, I guess
okay.
you could say. But then also you get access to different opportunities that may come up. Like a friend of mine actually hosted a red carpet for the Oscars, I think it was, just this past Oscars, and got it through TikTok through the creator program. So they've been very hands-on with that, and making sure that the creators, they get first picks at a lot of different things, because they noticed that the creators on TikTok are what's causing a lot of buzz for a lot of these different, like, pop culture moments that are going on. So it's like they're trying to work through TikTok. Like, these companies, they work through TikTok, and TikTok, they get the creators to kind of like, hop on and do the different opportunities, like, hosting opportunities, or they get invited to different events that are going on, or they get to collab with different people. So it's just, there's many different things that TikTok gets out of the creator program.
And going back to your own content, we talked a lot about your Hollywood career. What's your plan for actually diversifying your content on TikTok to be more inclusive of your different entrepreneurial endeavors, maybe featuring some stuff with real estate, et cetera? Talk about that.
I feel like where that would come in is to just show more of my organic life, like my organic self, because I feel like the content that I do produce, it's like, it's in the same place. I show people what goes on at the daycare. I really don't show people a lot of my life outside. Like, I don't show, like, the red carpet premieres or the studio sessions, or like, when I'm going to different places with my dad, like, when we go to the apartments to look at the apartments to see what's going on over there. I don't really show a lot of that portion of my life. So I feel like it would be more on me to, like, broadcast that, just to integrate it a little more and to give people another side of me. So I feel like that's something I need to do. That's a good idea. I think you just gave me that idea. And really with my Snap show that I'm working on right now, I'm working on a reality show with Snapchat.
Oh yeah.
We start filming at the end of we start filming on the 23rd of August. So I'm very excited for that. And with that show, I feel like it'll give people more insight on my life. So it's going to show another side of me, show, like, the studio sessions, the vocal lessons, the acting lessons, the red carpet events. You get to see more of my life and the people in my life and what I'm doing in my life.
And why Snap?
Well, I mean, it was already a developed relationship with Snapchat. They've asked me to join their creator, like, on as a creator as well too. I didn't even have a Snapchat. They actually had they told me to join, so I was like, I'm gonna do it because I've always wanted one, and I haven't had one in years. So I got on the app, and I just, like, instantly fell in love with it. And I got the idea of the show from Leopard USA. It was a production company. They created the show House Hunters, and Chris Lee Knows Best. And they were just telling me that they wanted to create a family show about me and my family in Mississippi. And we loved the idea. We were on board. We were, like, pitching the show to different places. But it was a Snap that came back, and they said, we love the show. However, we love the family aspect, but we want to include more of what La'Ron is doing inside of, like, career-wise. So, like, we want to see they want to see, like, the behind the scenes with the vocal lessons and all the different things that I have going on outside of, like, my family. So they were very on board with the idea, and we just got to work very fast, and it's been a great process. I've had a couple meetings with them. I actually just had a meeting with them yesterday to talk more creatively about how to include my family and my friends and all the different people as well too.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to seeing that.
Yes, I'm super excited.